Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we're looking at a freebie. Now this is coming in January and it is part of Saleabration. So Saleabration, you can order anything totally for free for a qualifying order of £45. Now let me just see if I've got my... Yeah, I've got the, oops, to pull it out from underneath. That is the Saleabration brochure. Can't show you inside until the 5th of January. But you can get all sorts of things absolutely for free. Place an order for £45 anywhere else, either the annual catalogue or the new mini catalogue, and you'll get something for free. So I love a stamp set for free. This stamp set is beautiful. It has two lovely images on there. The fence line with the path going into the trees, and then this rather nice sort of old cottage with, you know, brick steps and a little water fountain thing at the bottom. And it is in red rubber. So it means that the detail on all of these little tiny pieces you can get really easily. I'm going to bring it up closer so you can actually see the detail. So you can see on there, you've got, you know, the water trough at the bottom, you've got the little plant pots up on the stairs, and this one, again, a lovely watercolour scene. Now, they make beautiful cards, they make beautiful centerpieces, but what I tend to do is I will mat them first before I colour. Gives me a little bit more stability. So what I've done is I have taken them and I've used the stitched rectangles and I have just mounted each one of them. Saves me a bit of time as well in going through with you. But you can see both of those images. I've brought the camera down as far as I can get it so that it gives you more detail so you can see the colouring process. But this has been using the stitched rectangles, and I used... I can just get them out. Are they my rectangles? Yes, I'll show you the size that I've used so you can then follow the same if you want to. So these are the stitched rectangles, and I used this one for the for that one, yep, and was this one for, there we go. Okay, so from the top down, 1, 2, 3, the 4th and the 5th. So the 4th is for the black matte, and the 5th one down is for the inside piece. So you can easily map them nicely before you start colouring. And as I said, I tend to do that because it then means that it's a little bit more stable for me to do the colouring on that. Just move that out of the way. Okay, so you can colour them in blends, you can colour them in inks. I'm going to colour them in watercolour pencils because I really like the watercolour pencils, and I must admit I do use them a lot. So we have 2 sets of watercolour pencils in the annual catalogue. Now let me see if I can find them for you, because a lot of people turn around and say, oh, where are they? And they've been around for a long time, and people tend to sort of overlook them because they are in the back of the catalogue. So let me see if I can find them easily. I probably can't, and I should have marked them down, but you can always flick through. So they will be in... Let me just see, they always have lovely things in all of the catalogues. I love browsing through, and you can see I have little cards and things in there all the way around. But we do have lovely, are they in on there? Nope. There we are. Right, okay, so they are on page 126. I'm so close up you can't see it. Page 126, and there they are, watercolour pencils, and there are 2 sets. So I've got both of the sets because I find I use them a lot, and they are really good for doing a variety of colour washing like this. Now, you can use them, they say they're watercolour, so you can use water with them, but I like to use them, particularly for images like this, just as pencils. So I'm moving this off to the side so I can take the colours in. We've got, we'll do this one first with the fence. So the fence colour is going to be in, that's crushed curry, which is a yellow. That is early espresso, which is a brown. And this one is Cajun Craze, which is sort of a rusty colour. So I'm going to do all of the fence in this first. I'm going to use the dark early espresso, and I tend to use the edge of the pencil because then you get a nice, if you use it like that, you get too much of a fine line. So I actually do, and I turn the paper, because I am no watercolourist. I really am not. I just follow the lines through, and you can see the fence comes down like this. So just follow the lines of the fence coming through. And the fence then sort of goes back in the distance and wraps around itself a little bit, but it's almost too small to see. And then we've got the fence posts coming in this way. So I literally just taking it down and taking those round into the distance, and then we can have these bits. Okay, so that's very quickly done, and I don't do anything that is very complicated. I'm not a complicated person. And while I've got this, I'm going to do some of the inside of this path. So I'm just taking it through, and I'm just taking it back through up to that side. And again, I'm not spending too much time with it. So that's the early espresso. Now I'm going to take the Cajun Craze, which is a little bit more yellowy, and I'm just going to go over it, just down on the side part, just a little bit, so it comes in into the background, and we'll have a little bit down on here. And just like that. So again, I'm not doing anything overly dramatic with it. I don't think I need the Cajun Craze in this one. So the next we're going to do trees and things. So I've got Granny Apple Green, I've got Old Olive, and I've got Garden Green. And so Garden Green is the darkest. So these fir trees are going to be in the Garden Green. So I'm just doing, again, a line down the middle, and then literally just doing it sideways in, because they are, you don't see all of the tree. It's a impression because it's in the distance. So you can see on this, I'm literally just taking it down and doing it round on these fir trees, so they're the darkest. And then this is the Old Olive. So the Old Olive is going to come with these sort of rounded trees here, probably more sort of oaks and things, so I'm just colouring those in. And then these sort of bits down at the bottom here. So you can see I'm just literally sort of going round and round in here, a little bit in on there. And then we'll take the pale, which is the Garden Green, and just sort of go over it a little bit. But again, not sort of too much, just in round on there. And then I can take it down on the bottom to give it a bit of a line in on here. So that's our background piece coming in. And then I'm just going to very gently take it through. You can see that that's the path that comes in the middle. So this path, I'm literally just going to lay some colour down, take it back through there, and again on here. And you can see I'm literally just laying colour down. So I'm using the side of my pencil, and I'm just taking it down here because this is quite pale. I don't want it all too pale, but I'm doing it slightly paler than the other. Then I'm taking the garden green, sorry, the old olive, and I'm just taking this bit around the side of the path, just a little bit brighter in on here. So that's the side of the path, so it has a bit more definition. In on here and in on there. And then I'm going to use the point, and I'm literally just where these little bits of grass are, I'm just going up and down this way to just give some definition in that grass. But you can see again, I'm not doing it particularly precisely because it's that watercolour look. And then I'm going to take just the dark green as well and just add some little bits in there as well. So we can just take some of this up. Like that. We've got some little bits in under here. Everywhere you can see a little sort of tufty bit of grass. Just start sort of building it up. Take it down with the pale green as well. So it's over the top. So you've got these little tufty bits of grass coming up. Like that. And then I'm going to take, this is grey granite or smoky slate, basic grey, and I'm just going to take this path and make the path just a little bit darker in on here, because this is sort of one of these you know, footpaths, so it's that sort of stony type look. So I just want to take it down just a little bit darker in on there. I'm just going to take it round on the sides to give it a little bit of darkness round on there. Okay, then all I need to do is to take a pale blue. Have I got, what colour's this? Bermuda Bay, that's a bit too dark. I think I want Pool Party. Is that one Pool Party? Coastal Cabana. Have I got Pool Party? I thought one of these was Pool Party. Maybe it's not. Pacific Point's too blue. Bermuda Bay, I might have to use Bermuda Bay. Night of Navy's very dark. And Balmy Blue I think will work for the sky. And so all I'm going to do is just take this up where the sky is. And I'm using, as you can see, right on the side of the brush, just to give a little bit of the sky. And if you want to, you can just take your finger and it will just blend it in just a little bit on the pencil, because they're watercolour pencils. Excuse me. And there we are. That's the first one. So if I pick that up, hopefully you can see that fairly well. And if I bring it up closer, you can just see on there just a little bit of colour in there. But as I say, it's not professionally done, etc. It's scribbling. So that's the first one. The second one, this one again, you've got all your steps and things like that. So steps need to be in grey. I'm going to give it a bit of a brown. And probably a bit of a yellow. Just looking colours that will work with those sorts of steps. Cajun Craze is a bit yellowy as well. That'll work quite nicely. And then we've got our greens coming in. So let's try and work on these steps and things. So I'm going to take on here, and again I'm just doing the sides. So this is the water bath. I'm just taking it down in the grey gently. And these steps as well, you need to take them in. It's quite difficult because this is all grey, but I'm just doing it down on there. And I think I'm going to do this in a little bit of yellow in on here. I think will work quite nicely. So just in over the top, we'll just have a little bit of the yellow in on the top of here. Just gives a little bit of colour in on here, doesn't it? I think I might actually have to sharpen this one. Might be okay. So I'm just going to go up on the step bits here to just give a little bit of colour in on here. Those are my steps, so I want these parts of my steps coming in just in the yellow. I say you don't need to do a huge amount of colouring on these because there's an awful lot of shading in there anyway, and that's why I said if you're working it with pencils, it's very easy to just sort of build up a bit of colour in on here, and then it's not too difficult. Okay, so I think that's going to work on there. Let's take some greens in on there. So these are just little bits of green. So I'm literally just bringing them across in on here. It's a little bit of a flower in on here. And then there's flowers up on here, coming all the way down over on here. Now these have got colour in them, so we can make them pretty coloured flowers as well. I'm just giving it where the colour is coming down. And there's a little one up on there. Right, these are pots. So these pots are going to be, where's my Cajun Craze? That one. So I'm going to do these little pots in on the Cajun Craze. And there's a little bit pot down on here. And this little pot here. So that's where the pots are. And then I want them to have some quite bright colour in there. So I'm going to put just some little bits of, this is, what's this? Melon Mambo. So I'm just bringing these down. And you can see all I'm doing is just sort of scribbling a little bit in there to just give it a little bit of colour down on here. So it can be some sort of little climbing parts that just got just a little bit of colour in. And you don't need to do a lot, just a little bit in there. Then we've got to have this door. Now I think the door is going to be in, what's that? It's a Night of Navy, Pacific Point, I think. An old blue wooden door will work, I think. So I'm just going to do the door in like this, and then we'll have this part of it on here like that, and that bit on the bottom. So that's the old wooden styling of door. And then this is the Night of Navy. We can just get a little bit of dark shadowing in on here, where the door hides in a little bit in on there, like that. Then these steps we were going to have in the, whoops, nearly put them in the pink. We were going to have them in the, just the yellow in on here. So I'm just making this a little bit darker. So it's very sort of rustic cottage looking in on here. You can see where these are dark bits, and also it's quite sunny. So I'm just making sure that the brickwork in here, you've got that nice sort of sunny look to it. And then these bits of step on here, I'm just going to make those yellow. And just taking this just a little bit darker on those bits. And that little bit of the bit on here. Now I think that that's water in there, so I'm going to do just a little bit of blue in on here, just in on the bottom, so you've got a bit of blue. So that gives us this one. Just bring that up a little bit so you can see the colour in there, and I've used totally different colours in there, so that they, you know, you've got different colours and different ways of using it. So I'm going to show you two that I did earlier on to show you the same sort of thing. So and just mount them up a little bit. So that was one that I did earlier on, and you can see I've done exactly the same sort of thing in there. So this is the one we did together. And what I've done for this one is I've taken a grey base with some of the free paper, which is the Dainty Delight free paper. And then I'm going to put this in on the centre, because you've got the neutral grey against the black. I could put black, but it would be too much. And then I've just done half a sentiment here, which is Beautiful Destinations, and that is from another new stamp set, which I will show you later on. And I put that in on the centre and just have that there. So you've then got a complete picture in there. Then this other one, this was one that I did, so I coloured this one in blends. And I've just done the smoky slate and some of the neutrals. So that's two different ways of doing it. One making it more sort of Mediterranean, one making it more sort of country cottage. And again, on this one, what I've done is I've taken basic grey again, and then I've taken a soft suede, 1/4 of an inch smaller, and then this will go in on the centre like that, and then it gives a very neutral base, but the black tones in quite nicely. And this was the one that I did earlier on, which, as I say, has got more of the grey tones in, so could put that in that way. And that's just on greens. That's more countrified. I could team it up with some blue if I wanted to, but it gives you an idea how you can work quite easily with this lovely set, which is in the Saleabration catalogue that you can get from the 5th of January. So I hope you enjoyed that. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.